Good evening. It is Monday, February 25th. I would like to call this regular school board meeting to order. Please stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I think I said February 25th, but it's February 24th, getting ahead of myself. Moving on to changes, amendments, additions, or deletions to the agenda. Superintendent, any changes this evening?
We have no changes.
Board, any changes you all would like to make?
No, sir.
All right. Moving on to approval of the minutes. Superintendent, do you have a recommendation?
Recommend approval of the minutes from the school board workshop, February 3rd, 2025, and the regular meeting, February 10th, 2025.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Mathias, second by Dr. Luke. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Moving on to representation. No representation this evening. Natalie, any public input cards? Okay, no public input either. Item 601, Dr. Elizabeth Johnson with the Education Foundation.
Good evening, superintendent, school board members. I hope everyone is doing well today. At the end of January, we held our Teacher of the Year celebration, and it was a big success where we announced Lisa Bryant of Lake Minneola High School as the Lake County's Teacher of the Year. We received $42,000 in sponsorships, with our goal being $36,000. With that, Lisa Bryant's application has been submitted to the state for consideration for the State of Florida Teacher of the Year recognition. Our next recognition event is this next week. The Night of Stars event is on March 4th. We surprised our Rookie Teacher of the Year finalist and then participated in classroom observations last week. Our finalists are Taylor Emmanuel Caspary of Aurelia M. Cole Academy, Simon Hernandez of Lake Minneola High School, and Alexis Lewis of South Lake High School. The Night of Stars will also celebrate our school-related employees of the year, as well as the district's Alumni Hall of Fame. Next week, we also have the Scott Strong Clay Shoot, which is sold out with 35 teams. So that is March 7th at Blackjack Sporting Clays in Sumterville. We also are rescheduling a New Worlds reading event that was planned for tomorrow. We had to cancel it because of low RSVPs, but we are set to host an event on March 25th at Triangle Elementary. Additionally, our Ladies for Education is scheduled for April 25th, so we're looking ahead. We've posted a save the date for that event, and registration will go live tomorrow. I encourage you all to look out for that information on our social media and share as you see fit. Other than events, just some exciting happenings for the Education Foundation. We hosted volunteers from Lake Sumter State College for their service day at the beginning of February, and we cleaned out a number of our storage modulars and did some really good organization in our Apple Mart store in Leesburg. With that, at Apple Mart, we have 608 visits this year. That's equating to $94,402 worth of school supplies going to our teachers. We also are excited to share that we received a grant through the Consortium of Florida Education Foundations that will support the expansion of allied health and nursing CTE programs for Southlake and Leesburg High School. The grant is for $101,250 over 3 years. And additionally, for our Take Stock in Children program, the applications closed last week and we received 65 student applications. That's up 14% from last year. The staff are vetting those applications and preparing for student interviews to start after spring break. And finally, our staff will participate in the Amazing Race fundraiser for the City of Eustis at the end of March. So if that's something of interest, I encourage you all to register and participate. Are there any questions?
Any questions? Thank you, Dr. Johnson.
Thank you.
Great report, as always. Attorney report, Mr. Cole.
Nothing to report.
All right, easy enough. Moving on to the consent agenda. Superintendent, do you have a recommendation?
Recommend approval of consent agenda items 8.01 through 10.02.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Mathias, second by Dr. Luke. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Moving on to discussion, item 11.01, Mr. Cole.
Yes, sir. We are now opening a public hearing for consideration of final approval of policies 5610, removal, suspensions, alternative disciplinary placement, and expulsion of students. 5611, due process rights, and 5771, search and seizure. At this time, does anyone have any public comment on these three rules? Hearing none, we now close the public hearing.
Superintendent?
Recommend final approval of the policies as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Mathias, second by Mrs. Cunningham. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Superintendent, your report this evening.
All right, well, first of all, since our last meeting, condolences were sent to Kim Pauling and her family. Kim is the event specialist with the Education Foundation. Some condolences to her and her family on the loss of her husband, Kevin. Also, we have some exciting events coming up. We know February has been a busy month, and March is going to be busy as well. First of all, we have History Day on Saturday, March the 1st at Tavares Middle School. And it's always great to see the displays and hear the students as they present those presentations. Also, it is next week is Read Across America Week, so you may be asked to come and do read some more books. I know you enjoy that as well. Also, STEAM Bowl is next week with 5th grade on Monday, 4th grade on Tuesday, and 3rd grade on Wednesday, and those are at First Baptist in Mount Dora. And then Elizabeth mentioned Night of Stars, March the 4th. I know you have that on your calendar. And then spring break is here, the week of March the 10th, and so schools will be closed that week. So that's all I have tonight.
Dr. Luke?
I would just like to say it was really exciting to see the GMP documentation on, that was a very long document for Beverly Shores. I was out there a couple of weeks ago for Lake Sumter State College's Day of Service as well. We packed some boxes for for Beverly Shores Elementary, and they're really excited. And then to see that come through today, it seems like it feels real now. It didn't before, but it does now. So that's exciting. And I will not be joining. I would like to give a big shout out to the finalists for the Rookie Teacher of the Year and the school-related personnel. But I will be in Lakeland on Tuesday evening supporting some very special boys as they run for state. And I wanted to wish Leesburg High School the best of luck on Wednesday. I believe Eustis is Tuesday night and Leesburg is Wednesday night. It's because Thursday night I'm heading to a conference in New Orleans, so I will miss the state championship game, which makes my heart hurt just a little bit. But I'm really proud of several Lake and Sumter County teams that are going to be representing us at the state level in basketball this year. So what an exciting time for them. We wish them all the very, very best of luck. And maybe or maybe not, Tim dunked last Thursday night at the regional final. So we're all rooting for them. That's all I have.
Mrs. Cunningham?
I would first like to offer condolences to the family of Freddie Furness. She passed away. She was a longtime teacher at Eustis Elementary, and she was residing in Maine but had come home due to illness. Also, it was a pleasure to go to Tavares Elementary last week and today to Triangle. Some of the schools got a jump on the reading, and we started today. Mrs. Luke, I am so happy that you're going to be there on the 4th. I'm going to suffer through and go, hopefully, to the final game. I remember 20 years ago, I was there for Eustis's last final game, and so I'm rooting for them and hoping the outcome is a little bit different this time. But we're looking forward. We'd like to congratulate both them and Leesburg High, as well as the other representatives from Lake County. That's all I have.
Mr. Dodd?
I had a nice little encounter with our transportation department this past week. I have a middle schooler who had a lot of things to come home with on the bus that day, and it turns out he, with all that, managed to leave something behind. And what was pretty exciting about this is that apparently I realized just how many people it takes to get a lost and found item back to you between calling transportation and getting the right bus lot and contacting the driver and then getting the person at the bus lot to know that all of this is happening. And so then I went out there and I retrieved this item. And what was really exciting, I thought, through all of this, was that, one, it took a whole bunch of people working seamlessly. If any one of those links had broken, it wouldn't have happened, right? And also they did all this without even knowing I was a board member. So I'm real thankful to the transportation department for what they do on a daily basis. And I got to see it in action. I sent a note to Scott Fender just expressing my thanks. But anyway, it was an exciting moment. I guess if you could find the silver lining of the frustration of having to go retrieve a lost and found item. But anyway, just be rest assured if that happens to your kid, apparently there's a process in place, and it works pretty well. That's all.
Very good. Mr. Mathias.
This will be very quick. I will not be here next week. I'll be out of town in Washington DC, seeing my spirit animal, the pandas. So, but when that came up, then the Congressman Webster's office reached out to me. So I have an opportunity to tour the Capitol. I think that's going to be really cool. And so my son and my new daughter-in-law and my wife and I will be panda watching. But Rookie Teacher of the Year has always been my favorite. That's the ones you see that in their eyes, that sparkle. And so I hate missing that. We'll be announcing the new alumni Hall of Famers and our service employees. So I wish all of them well and appreciate all of them. But I'll be watching pandas. That's it.
Enjoy the pandas, Mr. Mathias. So as much as I'd love to go down and watch Eustis play in Lakeland on Tuesday night, I guess I'll take one for the team and gladly go to Night of Stars. But you best believe I'll be down in Lakeland on Wednesday to watch Leesburg High School play. Congrats also to Leesburg High School girls weightlifting for their third state title in 2 years. Hopefully we can get them on an agenda soon. I know that the city of Leesburg tonight getting some well-deserved recognition. But Coach Boyer and his staff continue to put on a winning team every year, both on and off the mat, and just do a fantastic job. So I want to shout them out this evening. Also want to shout out Kelly Randall and her team. Put on a great meet and greet at Eustis Elementary a couple weeks ago. Was hoping for a little more turnout at that event, but both the architect and the contractor were there. Had a lot of good information. Just continue to work through what's going to be the best option for Eustis Elementary moving forward. So Kelly, thank you for that work and all that you guys continue to do there. Also want to shout out Rob Oyer and his team in risk management, and also the LCEA and SEIU. We had our insurance committee advisory meeting this afternoon. Had a very good discussion and continue to work through some challenges on Vivio, but I appreciate your partnership as we continue to work through these things, and please continue to make sure that they reach out to Rob and Marisol as the gurus to get these things solved, and I know we can keep figuring out as we move forward. So thank you guys for that today. And I think that's all I've got. Anyone else have anything else they'd like to add before I adjourn this meeting? Any objection to adjourning? All right, we are adjourned.